হ্যালো, হ্যালো। আচ্ছা, ঠিক
হ্যাঁ,
আছে।
হ্যাঁ, হ্যাঁ।
আচ্ছা, what I have discussed in the previous part of our lecture that how to create journals because these summary transactions are not formal way to record any transactions. So we prepare a journal. So we prepare a journal. Journal is the formal way to record any transactions or to collect the information of any transaction. Okay. So
Mhm.
from journal entries, we go from the ledgers. So there are two types of ledgers. One is the general ledgers, and the second one is the T accounts. T accounts is another type of ledger. So what is the difference between the journals? Journals is a day-to-day transactions. As you can see, May 1, what the transaction has occurred in May 2 is a day-to-day transactions. That things we do in the journal. Journal, the name itself means what we do day to day. And ledgers is the summation, or we can call this, or we can sum up to a summarized version of the journals. How? Suppose in journals there's an account cash, then there's an account capital. So different account consisting in one single journal entry. But in the ledgers, we'll only consider one account, and for one,
Different,
yeah, for
different
one
entry.
table will one table will be used to indicate just only one account. And for that particular account, how many days or how many transactions it took place for only just one account. If we go for the construction of let us construct a general ledger or ledger number one. Okay, how do we construct a general ledger? Let us see. First, we take uh, as you are doing the general ledgers. Okay, general ledgers. All right. First, we consists the name of that account. What is the name of first account? Was cash account. All right. Under cash account, there will be sub column. First will be the date when the transaction took place, then the description, then the reference. We use this reference just to create a format. It is not necessary to write reference if there is no reference in the question. Then we take debit entry, and then we take credit entry. And then we go to balance. And what is the balance? I'll explain it while we do the procedure. All right. All right. So you can see the cash. This is the cash account. Okay. Yeah, we're good to go. Let us see what happens. Okay. We can easily build ledgers or construct ledgers, general ledgers, by watching the journals. We do not need to watch the transaction anymore. We can watch the journals right now. However,
Okay.
we can also come up with an idea, or we can also solve the problem of the ledgers watching the transactions. But we are not going to watch the transaction right now. We are trying to learn how do we construct ledgers from the journals. Let us see. May 1st, as we are considering the cash account, we only be interested in the cash. So in May 1st, we will see some cash going ups and downs or whatever it is. So we write May 1. All right. Description. In description, what do we write? Owner, owner, invest. All right. In the reference, we don't have any reference, so we'll pick it up. And was it a debit account?
সাজ্জাদ আপু নাকি রিকোয়েস্ট করতেছে হচ্ছে না। ওহো, তুমি তো নতুনই দিছো। আমি এটা আপুরে দিইনি এখনো। শিট শিট। সরি। হ্যাঁ, আমি দিছি এখন দিছি রিকোয়েস্ট।
So we are discussing about how to come up with ledgers. There are two types of ledgers, general ledgers, T accounts. We can construct these ledgers from the information that we got from the journals. However, in the journals we see there are the journals divided into day-to-day transaction, May 1, May 2, May 3, May 4. However, in the ledgers, we don't go for the day-to-day transaction. We only consider one account. Each account will consist of each ledger. Suppose in the journals we saw cash. So we first make a construction of the table for cash account. As you can see here, cash account. Under the cash account, every transaction that took place for cash account, we will insert all those information in here. So you can see May 1, there's a cash account going up or down, doesn't matter. In May 2, also you see cash. So in May 1, what did happen to the cash? So we write May 1, then the owners invested because owners have invested, all right, owners have invested in the business. We don't have the reference, but the cash was debited, right? So we write it down in the debit line, 7,000, right? All right. In the May 2, we see cash. All right, we see cash. So we write here May 2. May 2. What is the description? A paid rent expense, right? Paid rent expense. Right, paid. What? Someone has someone raised their hand?
ফাড়া আপু মনে হয়।
Or do you have any question?
না, ওই কি বললো যে রিকোয়েস্ট করছে, অ্যাকসেপ্ট করে নাই। আমি কল দিয়েছি ভাই, অ্যাকসেপ্ট করেন।
There is nothing to accept. Where did you make the call?
আপু তো অলরেডি আছে, অ্যাকসেপ্ট করছে তো।
She used another account to get in, but there is no request in here.
ওকে, লেটস কন্টিনিউ। দ্য রিকোয়েস্ট has come, then there will blink.
Right. Now I got the request.
It's
So you see, in May 2, in May 2 there was a cash. So we put May 2, and what did we do with the cash? We paid our rent. So rent, paid rent. Okay. So how did it affect the cash account? It was credited, right? It was credited. So we credited by 900. Okay. In the 3rd of May, is there any cash? Do you see any
no.
cash? No. So we don't take. Okay. In the 5th of May, do you see any cash? Yes, there it is.
Yes.
Now we write May 5. And what did we do with the cash?
Credit.
We pay our advertisement
No.
expense. So in the description we say paid advertisement expenses. So as we have paid the advertisement expenses, what happened to the cash? It was credited. So we put here credit balance. By how much? 125, right? All right. And in the 9th of May, we see again a cash. So we write May 9. What did we did with the cash? We didn't do anything with the cash. Someone pay me because of my service. So what do we write in here? Service. Oh, or we can, what we can write in here? Service earned revenue, right? Because they paid me. Because they pay me, which means cash has been debited. So we write 4,000. All right. In the 12th of May, yes, there is a cash. So what happened? Right? May 12. In the description, what should be the description? Owner's withdrawal for personal use. Owner's withdrawal. The cash was what happened to the cash? Cash was credited. So we credit here 1,000, right? In the accounts, in the 5th of May, is there any cash? No, there is no cash, so we don't take it. In the 7th of May, is there any cash? Yes, there is a cash. Right? May 17. What did you do with the cash? It was paid salaries, expenses on cash. Okay. Right here, paid salaries. And what happened to the cash?
17 May.
Yeah, in 17, what happened to the cash?
Credit.
Credited. So right here, credit. By how much? 200. 2,500. Then go after 70, there's a 20th May. You can see cash.
There is also cash.
Okay. So we write May 20th. May 20th. And what happened to the cash?
There is cash also performed
What
the
happened to the cash?
due account, due amount.
Yeah, due amount. So we paid the due amount which was recorded in the 3rd of May. So supplies was purchased on account. So we paid that. The paid for supplies, or we paid our due for supplies. Right? In the description we say right. Paid for due supplies. Paid due. What happened to the cash? What happened to the cash? Cash was credited.
Okay.
May 23rd. Okay. Do we see cash? Yes, there's a cash. So we write May 23rd. Right. What happened to the cash? Let us see. So cash, here we can see cash was credited. How it was credited? On May 15th, I performed an unearned revenue, which means I have provided a service, but on account. I didn't get the receipt. I haven't received it yet. So now I have received it yet. So in the description, what should I write? Service earned revenue, right? What happened to the cash on 23rd? 4,000. The 4,000 was debited. Right? Okay. Then we go for 26. Do we see another cash? Yes, we do see. So right.
Board cash as a not payable.
Yeah. May So in matrix, what happened with the cash? I borrow the money from the bank by 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 the help of the issue of a notes payable. So bank, I gave a notes payable to the bank. So the notes payable is nothing but agreement. In that, in place of that increment, bank gave me $5,000 cash. So cash was debited in here, right? Borrow money on notes payable, which debited my cash account, right? All right. So let us watch this on 29th of May. Is there any cash involved in here? We don't see any cash in here, so we do not take 29th of May. 30th of May, we see there's a cash. All right, let us write May 30th. Okay. So what happened? We paid our utilities expense. Paid utilities. By how much? It was the cash happened to be 275. It was credited, right? So now what we do in the balance? Balance is nothing but we write with 700. So as it is a cash account and cash is under the asset, so obviously asset will start from the debit balance. As we know that if we increase asset, it will be debit. If we decrease asset, it will credit. So increasing value should be the starting point of any account. So assets increasing account is a debit account, so it will start from the debit balance. So we write down this balance. And the second one, we deduct the credit balance from the debit balance. So what do? We write down this minus, here we come the another balance, and again there was credited. So
It will
this
be sum up.
not, again it is credited. So the both will be sum up, then it will be deducted from the debit balance. But we do have the summation 6,100 already in here, so we just need to write down this minus. Same thing, you'll find the same balance if you deduct these two from this. 900 plus 125 from 7,000, you get the same amount. And again we see there is a debit balance, so it will be added up, right? Okay. And then there is a credit balance. So, all right. Then we see another credit balance. And another credit balance. And like now we get a debit balance. Again a debit balance. However, in last we get a credit balance, sadly. As you can see, we get 14,600, right? And we can see 14,600 is the what? Is the total cash value, right? We have already solved in here. Is it the same? Isn't it the same? Right? Isn't it the same?
Sajat, yeah. Sajat, hello.
Yeah. So we did our first ledger, general ledger, cash account. Then we go for the second one, the capital account. Let's construct. Same, everything would be same. Capital. We write date. Reference, debit, credit, balance. Nice. Okay. For the capital account, we see here, yes, there has been a transaction in May 1st. So right, May 1st. Description was owner's investment. Owners. Yes. How we affected the account? Capital was credited, right? Credited by how much? 1,000. Is there any other capital in the name of capital account? If you see any other transaction in the journals, capital, do you see any other? Do you see any other capital accounts or any transaction in the name of capital account?
No.
So we are done with this capital account. We are done with this capital account in the journal entry. All right. So in the balance, what do we write? What should we write here?
It's negative.
No, there will be no negative positive. We just write
Okay.
the difference.
Then 7,000.
Exactly. The 7,000 is the credit balance because we from the equation we see there is a plus sign beside the or left side of the capital account or the capital balance here, right? Capital
Yes.
is a plus sign. So it will be working as like a liability. Liability is generally opening with a credit balance, right? We know
Yeah.
everything has an increasing value. Asset opens up with a debit account, so the debit balance, and liability opens up with a credit balance. So liabilities, revenue, and capitals are working like the same thing. So opening balance would always be like the credit balance. In the cash, we see at the end of the day, the cash has become the debit balance, right? The debit has more and credit has less. So it is a debit balance, and it is opening was also a debit balance. But in the owner's investment capital, we see there is only a credit. Some money was credited, but the balance remaining equals to the credit balance. But all of the accounts has an opening balance. So 7,000 is the opening balance capital, and it is generally accepted that credit capital balance would always be a credit balance. All right. There we are done with the capital balance. Capital ledger. Let us color something else. This is capital. So okay. Nice. All right. Now move on to, we are done with May 1. All right, we are totally done with May 1. Now let's come up with do not know how this works. Oh my god. Okay. What would be the second account in the ledger?
Expense.
Uh, Not expense, just rent expense. We will take each of the name of the account. Each of the
Okay.
name of the account will open another general ledger account. Okay, we are done with capital. Capital, we are done with capital. And color all the capital. Okay, sorry, cash. We are done with cash first. First of all, we are done with cash, so we color the cash. Cash, 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 cash. Lost cash. Okay. Then we are done with the capital. We color the capital. Capital. And then what will become? Become with the rent expense. So we write down rent expense account. Okay. And we take this format again. Write it down in here. When did the rent expense occur? When did the rent expense occur? On May 2nd. We write May 2nd. Is there any other account named rent expense? No, right? Only one,
No,
right?
no.
Yeah, only one. We color May rent expense. Yeah, we color them. In the exam, we don't have to color. Just because of understanding, I'm coloring this. What happened in the 2nd of May? Rent expense. Description. Paid the rent. Right? How did it affected the balance, or how did it affected the debit and credit? We can see rented to source debited. So right, by how much? 900. Right. So we are done with this. Again, we need to identify the balance. What should be the balance? Rent is an expense, and expense shows the same characteristics like the assets. So it would be generally a debit balance. So you can see, yes, it is a debit balance. All right. What is the next account? It's supplies, right? So right, supplies. Again, same thing. Copy, paste it. Supplies. All right. Do we have it? Okay. All right. Let's color it up. Supplies. We get our supplies. All right. When did the supplies account take place? Transaction on May 3rd. Right. What happened? We purchased supplies. Supplies on account. How did it affected by debit or credit balance? You can see supplies has been debited, right?
Yes.
All right. Then what will the balance? It will be debit balance because there has been nothing was credited. So yeah, we're closing here because there is no other accounts in the name of supplies, right? So we are done with supplies. Then comes to the accounts payable, right? what happened with the accounts payable? Yes, we can see there is a 3rd May, right? You see, there's a 3rd May, accounts payable was credited. So we write it down. What happened to the accounts payable? Purchase supplies. Same thing, we write down the same thing. Account was what? What happened to the account? Account was credited. By how much? 600. Here you can see. Right? So you. And we see there are others accounts payable too. So we have to consider others too in here in the same account. Right? Color two. Okay, red. Because that's an accounts payable, that's a liability. That is why color in red. Okay. So where is my accounts payable? Here I found out my accounts payable. Right? First one I have transacted in here. And where do I find others accounts payable? Let us find. Oh, 15th of May. Right? No. This is not accounts payable. That is accounts receivable. 20th of May, right? 20th of May. We defined accounts payable. So read out. Right? What did it do? 20th of May. Paid supplies. Okay. Paid for supplies, right? How did it affected the accounts payable account? It was debited. You can see debited. Okay. Then we look for others accounts payable. Do you have others accounts payable? 29th of May, right? Color it out. What happened? We purchased equipment on account, right? Right? How did it affected the accounts payable account? Accounts payable was credited. Now we need to see the balance. How did it affect the first balance? First balance will be a credit balance. Credit balance. Then again it became debit. So we subtract credit from debit. So write down the balance first. Subtract it from. You may ask me that in here in here what did I do? I use the balance to add debit, right? But in here I use the balance then deduct the debit. Why?
Because credit comes first. Yeah.
For each liabilities account or ownership equity account we from here, not from here. From here we have seen that anything has been increased, it should be related with the debit or credit entry. Assets, expense, drawings are same as the asset account, the way asset account characterize itself or characterize under the debit or credit entry. So normal assets, expense and drawings accounts opens up with a debit entry. So each debit entry will be added with the balance account and credit entry will be subtracted from the balance account. However, in the liability section or liabilities, the accounts payable is under the liability. So it comes or opens up with a credit balance as you have seen 600. First it was credited, then it comes up with the balance 600. So there has been debited, which means the value or yes, the value of the accounts payable has been decreased. So we subtract 600 from the total balance. And now again it has been credited, which means we add with the balance amount. So here we go. So is there any other accounts payable here? No. We're done with accounts payable. Then what comes next after accounts payable? We're done with 1, done with 2, done with 3, or done with... Oh, we do have advertisement expense. Yeah. Take it out. Put it right here, advertisement expense. Hard shelf. The bigger. Send it. Copy it. Paste it. And see advertisement expense, right? Have we understood everything that I've said until now? Is there any other questions?
I understood.
আপু আপনার কোনো কোশ্চেন আছে? যতটুকু আমি আলোচনা করেছি এর মাঝে কোনো কিছু বুঝতে আপনার অসুবিধা হয়েছে?
না।
আপনাদের স্যার কিন্তু এগুলোই পড়িয়েছিল। হ্যাঁ, আমি কিন্তু সেম জিনিসটাই রিপিট করছি, কারণ আমার কাছে মনে হচ্ছে স্যার এগুলোই রিপিট করবে এক্সামে। তো আমি নতুন কিছু পড়াচ্ছি না।
আচ্ছা সাজ্জাদ, স্যার যেটা বলছে যে কুইজের ছিল সামারি থাকবে আর হচ্ছে জার্নাল থাকবে।
না, স্যার বলছে কুইজের সামারি থাকবে, জার্নাল থাকবে, দ্যাটস আ রং থিং। সামারি কিসের সামারি থাকবে?
মানে সামারি করতে দিবে আর হচ্ছে জার্নাল বই করতে দিবে, দুটোর একটা অ্যানসার করতে হবে।
আচ্ছা, সামারি কিসের সামারি? সামারি কি সামারি ট্রানজাকশন এই যেটা?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, এই যেটা।
আচ্ছা, সামারি বলতে
হ্যাঁ ওইটাই।
সামারি বলতে মানে অ্যাকাউন্টিং এ ইনকাম সামারি বোঝায়। ইনকাম সামারি দ্যাট ইজ দ্য ডিফারেন্ট থিং। এটা আমরা অ্যাডজাস্টেড ট্রায়াল ব্যালেন্স করার পরে পাবো। বুঝতে পারছেন?
আচ্ছা। হুম।
আর জার্নাল, হ্যাঁ জার্নাল এটা যেটা করলাম। আচ্ছা, জার্নাল করলে সামারি করা লাগে না, কারণ আমরা দেখছি যে জার্নালটা এটার মতোই, মানে এটা আমার নিজের বোঝার জন্য, আর সামারিটা হচ্ছে, জার্নালটা হচ্ছে সবাই যেন বুঝতে পারে। তো এটা করলে আর জার্নাল করা লাগে না, আর জার্নাল করলে আর এটা দেখা লাগে না। এটা কেন করছি আমরা? এটা আমরা আগে দেখছি নিউমেরিক্যাল আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ডিংটা বোঝার জন্য। আর জার্নালে কি করছি? জার্নালে এটাকে আমরা ডিফাইন করছি যে কোনটার কারণে ডেবিট হয়েছে, কোনটার কারণে ক্রেডিট হয়েছে। সামারিতে কিন্তু ডেবিট ক্রেডিট কোনো কিছু লেখা নেই, খালি যোগ বিয়োগ করছি, তাই না? আর জার্নাল আমার ডেবিট ক্রেডিট করছি। আমার যেটা মনে হয় স্যার আপনাদের লেজারও করতে দিবে। হ্যাঁ, শুধু জার্নাল না, লেজারও করতে দিবে। তো আমি আজকে লেজারটা দেখাই দিলে লেজার থেকে ট্রায়াল ব্যালেন্স যাওয়া যায়, ওই ট্রায়াল ব্যালেন্স পর্যন্ত দেখাই দিলে আপনাদের মোটামুটি উই আর ডান। ঠিক আছে? আমি মনে করছি আপনাদের অ্যাডজাস্টেড ট্রায়াল ব্যালেন্সও আছে, এগুলো আছে, কারণ স্যার লেকচার 4 পর্যন্ত এটা কভার করছে।
না, অ্যাডজাস্টেড ট্রায়াল ব্যালেন্স নাই, বলছি যে আউট অফ অ্যাডজাস্টেড ট্রায়াল ব্যালেন্স বাদে।
অ্যাডজাস্টেড ট্রায়াল ব্যালেন্সের আগ পর্যন্ত, তাই তো?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ।
আচ্ছা,
তার মধ্যে সে আবার এটা বলে দিছে যে সামারি শিট যেটা, ওই যে উপরে যেটা, ওটা করতে দিতে পারে, সামারি স্টেটমেন্ট ওটা, আদারওয়াইজ জার্নাল, এই দুটোর একটা করতে দেবে।
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, আমার মনে হয় উনি দুইটাই করতে দিবে। যাই হোক, আগে আনলে এটাই করতে দিবে।
20 মিনিটের এক্সাম তো। আপু 20 মিনিটের না?
হ্যাঁ 20 মিনিট, আর উনি 8টা দিবে, মানে 8টা, ওই সামারিতে 8টা দিবে।
8টা ট্রানজাকশন দিবে আর কি। আচ্ছা, বুঝতে পারছি। আচ্ছা, অসুবিধা নাই, আমরা এটা কমপ্লিট করি, এটা হয়ে যাবে। আপাতত আমি যেটা করছি, আপনাদের বেসিক বিল্ডিং ব্লকস আমি বানাই দিচ্ছি। এটা হইলে আপনারা যখন ক্লাস ফার্দার করবেন ভবিষ্যতে, আপনারা বুঝবেন স্যার কি বলতেছে, মানে আপনারা বুঝতে পারবেন যে আচ্ছা কি বলতেছে স্যার। আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, অ্যাডভার্টাইজমেন্ট কই আছে আমার? Where did I find the advertisement? The May 5th, right? Is the May 5th, right? Color it out, right? May 5th. What was the description? It was an advertisement expense, right? Paid advertisement expense. How did it affected the balance? So how did it affected the account? You see, advertisement has a debit balance. Write down the $155. So any other accounts name under the advertisement expense? Did you see any other account? No, right? So we are done with advertisement expense. Done with advertisement expense. Then what comes after advertisement expense? Service revenue, right? Service revenue. Copy this. Let us find out where do you find service revenue. On 9th of May, we see there's a service revenue. 9. So what happened? The description perform service, okay, or cash. How did it affected my service revenue account? My account was what? Credited. As we know, a revenue works like the liability in the equation. See, revenue works like liability, so it will open up with a credit balance. $4,000. What? The balance should be equals to. Where do you find another revenue, service revenue? Here we are not found another one, right? So May 5th. But it was the perform service on account, not for cash, for account. Right? How did it my affected? Service revenue was credited, right? 5,400. So what would be the balance? As this is a general balance of service revenue, is a credit balance, so we add credit. There is, I think there is no other service revenue account. I hope. Let us find service revenue, service revenue, service revenue, service revenue, service revenue, service revenue. No other service revenue. Okay, we are done with service revenue. Then what comes after the service revenue? Owner's drawing. Copy it, paste it. merged it, copied it again. Paste it here. So how did it affected the? It was in the May 12th. What was the description? Owner's withdrawal. Okay. Withdrawal. How did it affected the balance? Owner's withdrawal. The balance was. It was affected the debit balance. So right. 1,000. 1,000. Right. Is there any other account under the name of the owner's drawing? No. So we are done the balance. Don't do this. We are done with owner's drawing. What comes after the owner's drawing? Accounts receivable, right? Okay. Color for the for accounts receivable, we see is there any no. In the May 15th, yes, there is an accounts receivable. May 15. What was the description? Perform service on account. Yeah, perform service on account. How did it affected the debit of credit entry? Which successful was debited 5,400. And now we need to see is there any other accounts receivable? Yeah, we found another one. Okay, so it was in May 23rd, right? May 23rd. What happened? Received cash for service performed on May 15, right? How much? How did it affected the account? How did it affected the account? 4,000.
4,500. No.
I think there has been a mistake in here. I guess it should be the 4,000, right?
Yeah, there is something. Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
No,
Okay.
সাজ্জাদ
Okay.
অন অ্যাকাউন্টে 5,400 টাকা ঠিকই আছে,
আচ্ছা,
আর আমরা রিসিভ করছিলাম 4,000 টাকা। না ঠিকই আছে তো।
ঠিকই আছে।
হুম।
আচ্ছা, এখানে কি বলছে? মে 15-তে একটা কাজ করছিলাম।
হ্যাঁ, সেটার পার্সপেক্টিভে সে 4,000 টাকা পাইছে, বাট অ্যাকচুয়ালি সার্ভিসেস 5,400 টাকা। উপরে দেখো কোশ্চেন লেখা আছে।
আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে, then it's fine. Then we don't care about that. So what happened? Account receivable was
4,000 হবে এখানে,
4,000, right?
ক্রেডিটে 4,000।
Credit 4,000, right? কখনো আমি এরকম কনফিউজিং কোশ্চেন করব, মানে দেখার জন্য আপনাদের মনোযোগ আছে কিনা। I know it sounds funny, but আমি করি on purpose.
তাহলে ডেবিটে আসবে হচ্ছে এটা
যেহেতু
বিয়োগ।
accounts receivable is under the asset, so we deduct the credit, right? 1,400. All right. Is there any accounts receivable account? No. So we now go back to the journal entry. What did you mean? Salaries expense, right?
Salaries, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's accounting is quite boring, right? I know.
বোরিং চেয়ে সবচেয়ে বড় কথা হচ্ছে খিদা লাগছে প্রচুর আমার।
I was preparing the whole thing for you guys, and I couldn't have my lunch too.
That's
It's all right.
really kind for you.
No, no, it's all
Really
right.
grateful to you.
কিছু পাইতে হলে কিছু ছাড়তে হয়। তো আমি চাইছি আপনারা যেন ভালো মতো শিখেন, তাই আমি একটু ভালো মতো দেখছি জিনিসগুলো যেন কোনো কিছু বাদ না যায়, যাতে আপনাদের কোনো সমস্যা না হয়, এটাই আমি মাথায় রাখছি। আচ্ছা, মে 17। What is the description? May 17 sellers expense কি হয়েছে? Paid sellers expense on cash, right? Okay. What it did to the sellers expense account? Seller expense was debited.
Paid salary. Paid
No,
salary.
we just write down the description just to know. We don't focus in the description. All
Okay,
right.
okay.
We focus in the what happened to the account. Seller expense, debit. Just write down the debit. Any other seller expense?
No.
Close it. I can hear birds are chirping. Love that sound. Notes payable account, right? Let us find more colors. Not that one. Shit. Where's my notes payable?
26th May.
26 minutes, right?
There is only one, so you can copy the whole thing.
Whole thing. Okay. Yeah, I can copy the whole thing. For the better understanding, I am not going to copy it. That is May 26th, right? Okay. What is the description? Borrowed. I guess I have already write it down. Borrowed money on those two, right? Best. How did it affect the notes payable account? Notes payable was credited. Notes payable is under liability. Yes, right? So the general balance would be starting from the credit balance. And any other notes payable? No, we close it.
No.
Then what comes after notes payable? Equipment.
Equipment.
Right? Copied it. Paste it. Equipment. Also May. What did you do with the equipment? You purchased equipment on account, right? Purchased equipment on account. So account purchased equipment account. How did it affect my transaction? Equipment was
Will be debited.
debited. Equipment is under the asset. in increase in asset is the debit entry. So generally equipment will come up or open up with a debit balance. So finding a debit balance. Okay. We have the last one. That's
Utilities expense.
get a specific color. Let us pink. Pink is for girls or boys too. Well, I love pink color.
You
I
know,
have also
pink
some.
is really a good color.
Yeah, it's
I have a
really good.
shirt pink.
I love the pink color. I have two T-shirts. Color is pink. People used to taunt me, but I don't care. I look great on pink, so I wear it. Doesn't matter. Okay. A due to this expense, okay, I'll have built in here. A utilities, a utilities, paid for utilities. So what happened in the debit or credit entry? Utilities expense, debit
It's a
entry.
debit entry.
Utility expenses are acted as like the asset account. The asset here increasing will be a debit entry. So for asset is the normal open being balance would be a debit balance. So utility expense is also an expense account which shows the same characteristics like the asset account. So opening balance of the utility expense will also be a debit balance. We are done with general ledgers. All right. And there is a fine line between general ledger and the T account. If you understand the general ledger, you'll possibly it will be quite easy for you to understand the T account. Now let us see how do we make the T account. It won't take any time to understand the T account, okay? I will show just one of them. I'm not going to show every account, okay? I'll show just one of
Okay.
them and you will understand the rest of it. For the T account, what you do is certainly like cash first, like the general ledger. But here we write date, then write debit, then write credit, then again write date. Or you can skip the date part too. Why did we did that? So I'll say on 1st of May, we see that cash has been debited, right? So write May 1. How much was debited?
7.
7,000. So
The second May, cash was credited.
we
So,
first yeah. Second May.
so
Now we
they
first
are
take all the debit one set.
okay.
We can take
Uh,
all the debit one set. So where did you find another debit account? on the 9th May, right?
Service on revenue, 9th May.
How much? 4,000, right? Okay. Then when did we find again?
Service and revenue. There must be 5,400 first one.
First one 5,400.
Yeah. 9th May, 9th May. In the general ledger, cash.
5,400.
General ledger, cash. 9th May. Check
9th
out the
May.
question. Check out the transaction details up there. 9th May. 4,000. Oh, sorry. Service is another thing. Oh, sorry.
No problem. Right? 23rd May. What happened 23rd May? Again 4,000 debited, right?
Yes.
What happened in the 6th May? Right? We have all
Yes.
our debit accounts or cash, right?
Yes. Now we are going to talk about the credit, right?
Exactly. Now we'll talk about the credit. So where was the credit? May 2nd.
Second, May 2nd.
Copy. Right. And again was copy, paste. And then insert
17 May,
17.
20, and the last 30 May.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There was 6 credit entries for cash, right?
Yes.
All right. Now we put the values. 900,
900,
then 125,
125,000,
then
250, 600, and 275.
now we'll see the total.
We'll sum up all the thing, then just
Exactly. Now we'll see the total. First debit total. What will be the debit total?
sum up.
Sum of the debit balances, right?
Yes.
Here we go, 20,000. And now we'll sum up the credit balance. And here's to understand what we do after that.
Balance.
We need to find out the balance. To find out the balance, what should we do?
Just debit subtract credit.
Why are you subtracting debit from credit? Why not the credit from debit?
It's asset.
It's a cash which lies under the asset. That
Asset.
is
Acts like
acts like
we
the
have.
asset. Exactly. Theta minus, is it equals to that, right?
Yeah.
In the same way, we can do all of this. Capital, all right? Rent expense. The account follows all of this like this. Now we need to build a trial balance account. We can use this simple information from the general ledgers. We can just write it down in trial balance. In the trial balance, what we do? Simply write the name, Matrix Consulting, then like it's the trial balance. Trial balance for end of May 31, right? Then we take accounts, is a column. Then take debit, then take credit. This is quite simple. Trial balance is the easiest part. When you are done with journals and general ledgers, trial balance is the most easiest part. In the account, first, what should you write in the first account?
Cash.
Exactly, cash. I've written the cash. What should be the debit or credit? What should I write?
Debit.
Debit what?
Debit 14,600.
Exactly what we see right now. We only see in the cash balance, with the cash under the ledger or under the T account, we only see the total balance. The total balance is 14,600, right? And
Yes.
which explains this is a what? This is a debit balance. So we write under the debit balance. It could also be a credit balance too. Then you write it under the credit balance, but we need to figure out, is it under
Just
the
like
debit
just
balance?
like capital would be in credit.
Capital here in the capital, yes. It's the second account is the capital. Capital is under the what?
7,000.
7,000,
Credit.
right? And then what is the third account?
Rent expense. Rent expense will be debit. It's 900.
We write down the account.
Okay.
Salaries expense, most payable equipment. Right? Sure. Recorded all the accounts. Right?
Rent expense will be in.
Now we go for what? Rent expense. Okay. What happened to the rent expense?
Debit.
It was a debit. The balance was debit. So on the debit. 900. Right? For the supplies, what happened to the supplies?
Supplies will be in debit
Also
also.
debit also. Accounts payable, what happened to the accounts payable?
It's it will be an it will be in credit.
We have a credit balance, right?
Advertisement will be in debit.
Equals to credit balance, all right. Then service revenue, credit balance,
Service
right?
credit balance. Yeah.
So we're gonna write it here, right? Write it here. Owner's drawing,
Owner's drawing will be in debit.
all right.
Then
Receivables,
accounts payable will be in credit.
accounts receivable.
Sorry, receivables. Yeah.
Do you have a credit balance or a debit balance?
Credit balance.
Accounts receivable, we have debit more, credit less. So which one?
Okay. Accounts receivable. Then debit will be.
Debit balance. Okay. Salary expense, let us see what salary expense.
It's debit.
Debit balance. Then what happened to notes payable?
Notes payable also in credit.
Credit balance, right? What happened to the equipment?
Equipment. Equipment is in debit. And utilities also in debit.
Are done with trial balance. So let us find out the summation. Okay? Nice.
So it's done.
You're almost done for today. Almost. You're almost done. Don't get bored about it. Sorry. It is boring, but we can make it more fun. It is quite boring when the things are done in the whiteboard because we only have whiteboard and the black pen. And because of the help of the Excel and the online, we make it more colorful to make it more lookable or interesting. Okay. Now there is a last thing we do from the trial balance. The last thing we make income statement, owner's equity, and balance sheet, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Sujit, can you skip it today?
Let's keep it.
Yeah.
All right.
Apu, is there any problem? রাপু আছেন?
হ্যাঁ আছি ভাইয়া।
আজকে শেষ করুক নাকি?
হ্যাঁ করুক।
আচ্ছা।
So many colors. Okay. I hope I tried my best.
So